I think that's us. So, here we go.
Right, we're going. The tune, the spooky tune.
Going good. Spooky theme show. Spooky theme for a spooky show. Still haven't watched Black Beauty.
It's a good film.
It was a series, wasn't it? There is a
Series,
film.
yeah. There's a film of it as well, isn't there? But yeah, the series, I was thinking.
Yeah, I think the Cook's in it.
But it was basically Lassie with a horse, though, weren't it? What's that about Black Beauty? Billy's fell down the well? No, it was more like, what's that, Black Beauty? Has Billy fell down the well?
There's no international conspiracy here, Black Beauty. Just a pile of oats. Oh, Black Beauty, you're eating them oats again.
Well, Black Beauty, you can't use that stuffed octopus.
Oh, Black Beauty, what are you doing there? You're just interested in the mares, aren't you?
Yeah.
Black Beauty.
I thought, is Black Beauty a he or a she? I don't know.
Let me
fuck!
find
I'm gonna
out.
have to Wikipedia Black Beauty to find out if it's a
BLT.
Unlike a horse.
I think it's a she, you know. Oh, baby Birmingham.
Black Beauty, his grooms and companions,
And for all our
the
radio
autobiography of a
listeners,
horse.
they are looking up horsecock right now.
It's composed in the last years of her
I
life.
just don't know if have we got Black Beauty's early life?
Well, it says
Started out as
here,
a started out
Black
as a
Beauty,
boy. Yeah.
his grooms and companions, the autobiography of a horse. So I assume it's about a stallion.
Oh, okay then.
Why the long face, Black Beauty? You must be sad.
So a ghost goes in. Now this is a topical joke. A ghost, he goes to a bar, and the bar steward says,
Oh,
"Sorry,
did you know
we
Black
don't
Beauty is
serve
called
spirits
Darky?
here." Just talk all over my joke. Why don't
Sorry,
you're
I
just waiting with bated breath and are like, "Oh, Hobbit, that's the best Halloween joke
On
ever."
hooks there. I was waiting for the climax, but
I'm
Go
sorry,
on,
I
then.
won't listen to
The
Hobbit
ghost-
at all then.
the ghost
I just-
So anyway,
to
the
a
ghost
bar.
goes to a bar, and the bar
Yeah.
steward says, "Sorry, sir, we don't serve spirits here."
What do ghosts have for dinner?
Shredded wheat.
Goulash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I live in a quiet conservative area. There's not much usually going on. But recently, a lesbian couple moved in next door. That should get tongues wagging.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Jimmy Carr,
right.
that is. Come on.
This joke is a recent joke, and it's
Lick
made
each
by
other
someone
out.
very special. What is a zombie's favourite currency?
Don't know.
It's not a good joke, by the way. Crypto.
What's a ghost's what do lady ghosts wear as makeup? What's their favourite makeup?
Ectoplasm.
Mascara. What did the ghost buy at the bar?
Not spirits. We won't
Booze.
serve them spirits.
Booze.
Booze.
Booze. You got any booze for ghost?
Booze.
You got any booze for ghost?
Is that what our audience are going to serve us? Booze.
What kind of horse do ghosts ride?
Not Black Beauty.
A nightmare. Who did the ghost take to his prom?
I don't know.
His girlfriend.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we need any more? What room does a ghost not need in his house?
The ghost
Living
servatory.
Living room.
A toilet.
Crazy
Living
guy.
room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did
Why
you know
did-
the Chinese think Halloween is a bank holiday?
Oh,
Why didn't the ghost dance at the party? He had no body to dance with.
Oh, fuck me.
Where do ghosts go on holiday?
Skegness.
The Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
I get it.
All right. Here's another
All right, put the
music
crackers
joke.
down, Hemi. Fucking hell.
What do you call an Irish vampire?
Don't know.
Count Dublin.
What? Well, what's a
Didn't get it.
what's a ghost's favourite William Shakespeare book?
The Tempest.
Romeo and Juliet.
That's not one of his plays.
How do ghosts stay in shape? How do ghosts stay in shape?
Oh, do they go down Canal Street?
By exercising.
Oh, fuck my.
Do they do mule kicks?
Why are ghosts terrible liars?
See-through.
Because you can see right
'cause
through them.
Yeah. What do ghosts wash their hair with?
Head and Shoulders.
Shampoo.
Oh,
Boo.
shampoo.
What's Ghost's favourite dinner? What's their other favourite dinner?
Prosecco.
Spooketti.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you want any more? Or are we done?
We're here all night, chap. So if you've got any jokes, we'll read them
in
out.
the chat.
Yeah. Do you want some ghost puns?
Yeah,
It's not the same as jokes.
Are you a
Is
ghost?
that what you would just do?
Are you a ghost because you look like my boo? That's not it. That's not a.
Didn't
That's
get
not
it.
a pun.
No,
That's almost as good as the Count Dublin joke.
All ghosts are so booring.
Yes.
Right.
Ghost went to the theatre to see a pantomime.
Oh, fuck.
Or Phantom of the Opera. Doesn't work
Ghosts
really,
stay
does
safe by buckling their sheet belts.
it?
Yeah,
Pain.
I think we've done now.
Nice.
Did you hear about the thalidomide child at a Halloween party?
No.
He went as a T-Rex.
Oh, fuck. God.
You know, at some point, those Flid jokes are going to die out, just like the
Oh.
Flids.
It's funny because it's true.
Yes.
So, do you still get thalidomide, kids? I mean, do they? If they have
Just
have
get
kids,
them.
does it carry on?
No, they
don't
stopped
think
using
so.
them.
It's an
I
in
think it just
vitro,
causes birth defects.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's an in
It was a
vitro.
chemical. It was a chemical, and they kind of mirrored the molecular structure of it, which caused it to go all wrong and
Because it stopped.
mutate people.
It was made to
Also,
stop.
they're using
stop
the
morning
left-hand
sickness, weren't it?
molecules.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
there
they
was
use that drug to treat something, don't they? Is it I can't remember what
Cancer.
it is. Cancer.
It's chemotherapy.
Yeah, because that geezer got it, didn't he? And they said, well, he said, "I'm all right. I ain't going to
So
catch it." am I?"
there's an episode of Casualty where the Flid actor with his little flappy
The
arms
one from
is in
Kung Fu
hospital.
Fled.
And he's in the
He was in
hospital.
a film
and
called
they're
Kung
saying,
Fu Fled, I bet.
all right, so this is Casualty.
Mm.
And the doctors say, well, you got cancer and we want to give you chemotherapy. However, the chemotherapy agent's formidolide. And like the actor's like, you know, the guy with the character in it's like, are you joking? And it's like, no, we're being deadly serious. And he sort of storms off. And then I think eventually when he calms down, it's like, yeah, go on, give me the chemotherapy. And then it's like, oh, irony, this drug which caused me to have little stubby arms is now going to save my life.
Couldn't he have took
So-
it with a sense of humour and just gone, well, I ain't going to catch it twice, am I?
Well, there was kind of like, you know, it was supposed to be like, it's bad because he's emotionally charged about it, but also it's good because, fuck you.
It was 100% safe and effective, like Alphabet Cat says.
Isn't
yeah, it
formaldehyde?
is.
No, that's not an embalming fluid, is it? Like
What?
formaldehyde. That's it. Fucking
Yeah.
thinking of formaldehyde.
I still...
Formaldehyde.
The best... Oh, he's Black Beauty is referred to as a he, so it's a bloke.
Well, that's what I read out.
Okay.
Confirmed. Hemi was looking at horses.
Nice.
I don't know, I just seem to have a bit of
Sorry.
a blind spot for your talking tonight, I bet.
It's okay. I mean, I tune up certain tones as well.
Right, who's kicking off
It's
with
like an episode every week.
who's
Shall I start?
kicking off
Ian.
with the story? It's going to make you shit your fucking
Yeah, I got a
pants.
tail. So
Yeah.
trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know which film that is from?
Die Hard.
Pumpkins on a plane.
It's a good answer, but it's not the right answer. Halloween Resurrection, which is the 8th Halloween film.
Fuck.
And,
That must
Oh,
be
fucking
terrible.
hell.
man.
Resurrection.
Halloween Resurrection.
Is that the one they now call... haven't they renamed H2O? Or is it was
know.
H2O still H2O?
Halloween 20, maybe.
Yeah.
No, that was said by rap singer Busta Rhymes, who starred in the film, and he said it.
Oh,
to Michael
that's
Myers.
that's where they're in the
Yeah.
house and it's like Big Brother, isn't it? Except he's
Big
got
Brother.
a big
They go
serial
into
killer.
the old Myers house and make a Big Brother program out of it. And before Busta Rhymes electrocutes Michael Myers, he says that, and then
Trick or
he follows
treat,
it up by
motherfucker.
saying,
Yeah.
"Yeah, happy fucking Halloween."
Mm.
And
Booga booga.
generally thought of as the worst entry in the Halloween series, and I think it is. I've seen it, and it's shit.
Oh, isn't
So,
Isn't 5 a dog?
a lot of them are bad, but
Well, I thought Halloween Ends was the currently worst one, wasn't it?
well, the thing, I don't know. I've seen the last 3. I thought the first of the last 3 was all right, but the second 2, I was pissed when I saw both of them. I can't remember them, so
I think
give it
that's
another
probably for the
rewatch.
best. Well, it's when he comes back to life through the power of fear. I really didn't like that bit.
thing
Spoilers.
is, there's only so far you can go where you've got a guy in a mask killing teenagers.
And then he hides in the no, you can, but it's what they used to do in the 80s and 90s, which is inventive kills. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's how you keep it fresh. More and more inventive kills, like they did with Friday the 13th.
Yeah. In the 80s, they did.
What's your favourite What's your favourite Jason Voorhees kill?
I'm not up on him. I'm more Michael Myers. I've had a look at
Okay.
that one. And it's similar. I just like the bit where he comes out of where she's in the boat at the end, and he comes out of the water and jumps and shits everyone up.
Oh right, that's a good one because old Pamela Voorhees was a ledge, weren't she?
Yeah, I liked it when she offed Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Harvey would say, "Trick or treat, you cunt."
Trick or treat, you can't.
Well, anyway, okay, let's get on with this. We've had our fun. So,
very serious
Halloween
time of year.
Yeah. So the listeners have sent in some of their scary stories. So what we're going to do tonight is go through them and see what we got. So anyone of a nervous disposition, turn off now, as we don't want to be responsible for anyone emptying themselves.
Like apparently the Exorcist did.
Boiling themselves, if you prefer. So let's have a look then. So first ghostly tale was sent in by Andy from Luton. So,
Sorry, just reading the chat. I'll read this one out. Came down this morning and found yogurt splattered all over the kitchen walls. I think it must have been paranormal activity. I think someone has been dabbling in the Yakult.
Them coming in.
Oh
Anyway,
dear.
okay. So anyway, this is Andy.
Ian woke up after watching a load of porn and found himself covered in ectoplasm, didn't you, Ian?
Yeah.
It's happened to the best of us.
Oh, spooky
It's all
ghost, as Randy Marsh said.
It was a ghost.
Spooky ghost.
Anyway, okay then. Let's kick off with this tale from Andy from Luton. Anyone who grew up in England in the 1980s remember that you had to make your own fun back then. There was no internet and only 4 TV channels.
Is this one about
So you and
murdering
your mate-
prostitutes? Because I don't think that's really.
Well, it could be. We'll get on to it. So you and your mates had to find ways to amuse yourselves. Or us.
Just not like Dennis Nielsen did.
or Jimmy Savile. So anyway, for us, it usually involved roaming around wasteland or riding our bikes.
Yeah.
There was an abandoned farm where we used to hang out, making ramps out of timber and throwing stuff at pylons. Most popular activity was everyone cramming into the phone box after school to make crank calls. This was the usual childish stuff. Looking people up in the phone book with rude sounding names and asking if they could speak to Mr. Anus or Mrs. Bottoms.
Are you A smelly? Do you remember that one from the Mary Whitehouse
Yeah.
experience? Are you A smelly? We'll have a bath then.
Yeah. And that's
On
you,
my
that
cunt.
is. M. Khan is bent.
Mr. What? Hello, this is
Anyway.
Mr. Wharton Kerr.
Wayne Kerr.
Winker, winker.
Anyway, one time we got hold of the headmaster's number and we used to fart down the receiver, but we had to stop when he called a special assembly about it. Eventually, we exhausted all the funny real names, so we would order taxis for Mr. Piss or phone Childline and pretend to be other kids from school and say that our parents forced us to wash our hair in the toilet or eat out of the dog bowl. Obviously, I wouldn't do anything like that now, but at the time, it didn't seem so bad. I can't remember who came up with it, but at a certain point, we started daring each other to ring the devil. We got it into our head that his number was 666, and if you rang it, you would get a direct line to hell. Like most things at that age, it was described as someone's older brother who knew a kid who had definitely gotten through and spoken to Satan. I don't even remember taking my turn, just testing how it obviously didn't work. 3 digits aren't enough for a real phone number, apart from the emergency services.
Oh, do you know what happens if you ring 666?
We'll find out.
Policeman comes upside down.
Yeah, you get 3 policemen
Anyway.
on the reds.
Yes. Some kids were scared just by the thought of it, by the idea that the devil might answer, like Bloody Mary or Candyman. Purple Aki. But, as I said, it didn't work. One by one, we went in while others waited outside, only to quickly emerge with a shrug. That was until Kevin's turn. From outside the phone box, we heard him.
Remember, Kevin's
heard him
here.
say, yeah. From outside the phone box, we heard him say a surprised hello as he stood with the receiver up to his ear as if he was listening. He was in there a good few minutes like that, and he didn't speak again until he said goodbye before hanging up. When he came out, he was white as milk and refused to tell us what had happened, riding straight home without a word. We just thought he was joking, and everyone forgot about it the next day when someone said that Barry Brown, the weird kid from Mr. Rayner's class, drank a full bottle of matey every time he had a bath. I think it was the following Monday morning when Kevin got sent out of the class for calling Miss Norris a dirty old bitch. You have to understand.
Is
he was
this
such
just
a quiet kid.
in school days?
No, this is sent in from Andy from Luton. You have to understand, he was such a quiet kid. I'd never
I
seen
don't
him.
hear the Grange
get
Hill
told off.
theme tune in my head.
He always had to come home before dark, and he was too shy to do any of the crank calls where you had to actually speak to anybody. At the end of term, the year
Diary of
before,
Ian, aged 13 and a half.
At the end of term the year before, we'd all
Was
gone
he,
into
was
the
he
hall to
profoundly
watch
in
the
love with Pandora?
We went into the hall to watch a video of Labyrinth. He started crying when Luno got bullied by the goblins. We didn't even take the mickey out of him as he seemed so soft. It didn't seem right. Over the next few months, Kevin's behaviour began to change. He was still quiet, more so in fact, usually by himself in a corner at break time, sat watching or gazing off into the distance. He didn't hang out with us after school anymore, and when we called round for him, his mum would always say that he'd already gone out. Then some kid told us they'd seen him in the phone box. Around that time, George Hopkins from our class invited him over for tea. I think Kevin's mum used to arrange play dates for him because he was worried that he was lonely. When George came in the next day, he said that Kevin had put a pencil right through their hamster.
Fuck.
I suppose now they would see the signs and social services or whoever would be brought in, but this was the 80s. I think it was that night I cycled down to the phone box for a look, and he was there. I watched him from across the road for a bit. He didn't seem to be doing much talking, but he was nodding his head like he was listening to whoever it was. I cycled off before he came out, as I didn't want him to see me. The next day, Kevin was expelled for breaking Michelle Dobson's hand with a hammer. It wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. They had not been arguing or even speaking. He just walked across the room as she'd been writing and smashed her fingers to the death. Why would you even bring a hammer to school? None of us saw him after that, and not until he was on the front page of the local paper, the only survivor of a house fire that was started deliberately. Then he was taken into care and moved away. Even now,
Kevin sounds like a right nincompoop.
Yeah. Even he was possessed. Even now, you get the occasional rumor about what he's up to, like he's in prison for murder, or he's hung himself, or someone saw him just skulking around town. The phone box is now long gone. I walked past where it used to be about 6 months ago, which is what made me start thinking about all this again. The council stuck a grass verge over it, and I saw there was something laying in the grass. It's usually just dog shit. But this was a 10-pence piece. It was one of the old ones, slightly fatter. I just put it back where I found it.
Ah.
Oh,
Hey?
I remember the old 10p pieces.
Exactly. So don't go ringing 666 on the phone, eh? Or you might end
Yeah.
up like Kevin.
Messed up.
I got this one. This is from a Reddit user. It says, I finally found my wife the kidney she needed. It took forever to track down everyone she'd donated organs to after the crash.
I've been sent a short one, actually. Harry the Tit from Plymouth says he has seen a bicycle riding around town by itself at night. And Lauren from Dis, a man tapped on the window and waved as he walked by. I was in the attic at the time. And Ian G claims that his dog spoke to him. It told me to change the channel to Noel Telly Addict and never talked again. So keep those coming in, if you will. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, nice.
Oh, the chat's saying that Scorpio will be crossing the River Styx soon in the galaxy. Hang on. The River Styx soon, the Milky Way.
Yeah. The river's dick, did you say?
Yeah, the River
river had a dick.
River's dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So who goes next? Who's got a scary tale to tell?
I was sitting on my room at like 11:30 p.m. Heard lots of shit downstairs and assumed it was my mum. I heard her walk up to the stairs to my room. Stop. I called out to her. She didn't say anything and walked downstairs. I went down about half hour later to find a piece of paper with the words "You're lucky, I'm scared too" on it, and a whole bunch of shit was missing. I called Mum. She still hadn't arrived home from a dinner she was at with her friends. I called the cops and locked myself in the bathroom, but I think they left when they realised I was still home. Probably the most scared I've ever been when I was hiding in the bathroom.
It's handy if you were shitting yourself, wouldn't it? Because you'd be in the right room.
Yeah.
Do so.
I currently live in a haunted house. I've heard voices, footsteps, lights. Lights have been turned on or off. One of the ghosts has a thing for silverware. I hear it clattering in the drawer all the time. And sometimes a knife or two will end up in the wrong slot in the drawer. Wow, that's spooky, isn't it?
Lives in a house, haunted house in the country.
Yeah.
But the strangest / scariest experience I had was the first night I spent in the house. I wasn't finished moving in there. Were boxes everywhere. I didn't even have my mattress up there yet. I was bedding on an old futon mattress, watching a video on my phone. Then I get pins and needles feeling of my feet falling asleep, except it wasn't on my feet. It was on the top of my head in the shape of a hand. I said, "Good night," turned off my light and tried to sleep. When I woke up, my closet door was ajar, but other than that, everything else otherwise was untouched. I guess whoever my unseen roommate is just wanted to check out who I was on my first night.
Yeah. Julia. So,
I'll be all Fraser. You're gonna find one and read one out, you lazy bleeders.
Yeah, have a look. I'll tell you what, though. I've been sent... Oh, have you got one, Dom?
I haven't yet. I'm still looking.
All right, then. Have a look. In the meantime, then, while you're looking, I'll tell you. I've been sent another one. I've got another one coming in. This one's sent in by Kerry the Dyke from Nottingham, and it goes as follows. Let's have a look, then.
Yeah.
Last year, I moved to the seaside. When the weather is nice, it is a novelty to get up early and walk along the beach. When the tide's all the way out, the sand seems endless. It's like being on another planet. I love the solitude, as there's usually no other soul around at 5 in the morning, barring the odd jogger or dog walker. And one could easily pretend be that little robot chap who trots about on Mars. One morning, I was out just after sunrise, right around low tide. I was about 200 yards from the shore, in this vast landscape of shining sand, gazing out to the sea. I was so lost in thought that I jumped when I saw that there was an old woman stood next to me. I say old, she was probably 60 at most, but looked like her makeup had been applied by Homer Simpson's shotgun. She was dressed strangely for that time of day, in a sparkly dress and an elegant scarf around her shoulders. It was mildly dishevelled, as if she'd been up all night. She asked me, "Were you at the party? I've been trying to get home." She seemed a bit confused, looking at me slightly askew, and I noticed she was carrying her shoes, a pair of stilettos that were scuffed and worn right down. I told her I hadn't been at any parties, and she asked me if I had the time. I pulled out my phone to check, and when I looked up, she was gone. I was alone in every direction, and the only trail of footprints were my own, barring a single pair right by my side. There.
Oh. Well, I've got a
Yeah, isn't
story.
it, eh?
I've got a
Story then.
story for you. The headline of this story is "A Mother's Love."
Nice.
Some people actively go out looking for ghost encounters, and every once in a while they find one.
Yeah,
When
mate.
Kevin was a teenager, it doesn't explain who Kevin is, he and his friends had heard about
Kevin
a
again.
dangerous turn on the nearby highway that caused many accidents over the years. It was now haunted. The most well-known story was of a mother who took her own life after her son had crashed his car and died there. It was said around town that a ghost remained at the deadly turn to protect people from ending up like her deceased child. Kevin and his friends decided to put that theory to the test. At night, Kevin drove his friends out to the highway. When the group of boys arrived at the turn, they pulled over. They brought a bag of flour with them and proceeded to sprinkle the white powder on the road, the grass, and the car. The idea was to get footprints to prove that the ghost was indeed real. The boys hopped back in and began to take the car around the turn. Kevin accelerated faster and faster, and thump! The car came to an abrupt halt as if someone had slammed down on it with their own two hands. They immediately got out of the car and saw two wound-sized handprints in the white flour on the hood.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kevin's a bastard, isn't he?
It's the same Kevin who rang 666.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and
might
it's
be.
the same.
Kevin, never fear, Kevin's here.
And it's
Remember,
Kevin
Kevin's
from Harry
here.
Enfield. Kevin from
He
Harry
gets
Enfield.
around, doesn't he? I mean, at first he was
I hate
in
you.
England, now he's in America.
You're not my real dad. I hate you.
All right, then I've got a story.
Here we go. A Scottish tale.
No, it's not a Scottish tale, but it's a Colombian one. So
Oh, God.
is thrill seekers traveling to Colombia will likely be attracted to the true scary stories surrounding the Hotel del Salto, a former hotel turned museum. Purported to be one of the most haunted places in the country, Hotel del Salto, which translates literally to Hotel of the Leap, has allegedly been haunted since it was first constructed as a mansion in 1923. It was designed by architect Carlos Arturo Tapias, who was inspired by the French architect aesthetic that was popular during the time. Its location overlooking the famous Titicaca Falls gave the mansion breathtaking views, but according to some creepy stories, the falls may also be the source of its alleged hauntings. The mansion was the scene of many lavish parties, and by 1928 was turned into a popular hotel, but then the horrific tragedies began. Hotel patrons inexplicably leaped to their deaths out of their windows. At least one homicide took place there, when a guest brutally murdered a young socialite in one of the rooms, splattering the walls with her blood. Meanwhile, guests of the notorious Hotel del Salto claimed to witness spooky apparitions that appeared around the hotel at night, including the ghost of the murdered socialite. In local legends, Tequendama Falls is said to have been where many people of the indigenous Mulasca tribe Musika
Alaska.
tribe. Yeah.
Alaska.
No, Musaka. It's Muisca tribe escaped from a Spanish colonizers by leaping off a nearby cliff centuries before. Ooh.
I'll ask her about it.
There's some strong shit in Colombia.
Yeah.
You got to remember.
Yeah. Through the
Yeah.
native legend says Musaka were
Musaka. I like that.
Musaka, okay. Were incarnated into flying eagles as they jumped off the cliff, thus surviving the
were.
brutal plunge. No, they weren't. Locals believe the land has since been cursed by the Musaka, some of whom may have not survived their attempts to escape the Spanish invaders. Even after it was shattered in the 1930s, scary stories about the hotel continue to emerge. Some claim that loud screams could be still heard coming from the abandoned hotel. Additionally, they say that the constant mudslides on the road to reach the property and the stench from the heavily polluted river water further prove paranormal activity on the grounds. Today, the once run-down hotel has been converted into a sleek and stylish cultural museum. Curious visitors can tour the former hotel, but only during business hours, which end at 5 p.m, well before the scary stories say the ghosts appear.
Nice.
Yeah,
There's a mudslide in the week. Oh. Yeah, it's not bad, but yeah, there is a lot of drug taking going on in that part of the world, isn't there? And the two things.
Well, if you see photos of this place, it literally is built on the edge of a ravine. Like it is. Yeah, you ain't living that if you jump off it. Let's just say that.
Moussaka is not like tiramisu, is it?
No, it's lamb. It's lamb, and it's kind of similar. It's lamb, and I think it's more like Greek. I think it's more like a Greek shepherd's pie. I think.
Oh, I was going to say it's got moussaka in it. Not moussaka, sorry. Aubergines.
Fucking aubergines.
Aubergines, yeah.
Oh, hey, you remember when we did the Isle of Man episode about Geff, the talking mongoose?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've been watching the Fast Show, and they've been like, come to the Isle of Man, please.
That's interesting. It's interesting you said that because the film out at the moment,
and Tombola.
a film out at the moment about Jeff, and there is, isn't it? It's on. There is a film out. It does star Simon Pegg, so yes, interesting connection. Fast Show, Jeff. Okay.
So I've got one here called The Ghost in the Hall. Four young women moved into an old New England apartment together. You know, the type with squeaky floor.
I do know the type.
The type with squeaky floorboards and a long dark hallway.
I can't stand it when they write it like they're talking to you. I can't stand that stuff.
Is it? Is that the sort of ones like the Scooby-Doo gang would sort of run around?
Yeah.
A month after they moved in, one of the roommates realised that her favourite stuffed teddy bear was missing. The others all said they hadn't touched it or seen it. Weeks went by, and she almost forgot about her teddy when something strange happened. She opened the door to one of the closets they hardly ever used. And there, on the top shelf, sat her furry friend. All her roommates swore they had no idea how it happened. Now, whenever the teddy bear goes missing for a few days, she knows exactly where to find it. Their apartment probably had all these other signs of being haunted too. And then it's a hyperlink to the signs of haunting.
I'd like to find her furry friend.
The cup.
Where's one?
How about this one then? I've got them done.
There's one that says duendes are dwarfs from Latino folklore that cause mischief. My grandma's brother-in-law supposedly had a duende travelling with him. When you befriend a duende, they bring good luck. Whenever he gambled, he would win. However, something hit the duende and it made him sick. Duendes bring misfortune if you upset them. The doctors weren't able to find a cause and he passed away, but a faith healer identified it as a duende's curse. Now this reminds me of, I remember, does anyone seen that really creepy video? Is that a bit like
Montezuma's curse?
Yeah. No, but I remember a really creepy video from South America of a little gnome-like creature, like it was all like black.
Yeah, that was doing the rounds,
and it
wasn't
kind
it,
of like
that one?
shuffling towards people. That was a duende. Anyway.
Right.
When I was younger, I had an imaginary friend who lived in this massive antique dresser. We'd chill out, and I vividly remember him telling me stories, although I have absolutely no recollection of what they actually were. I remember one day talking to my parents about it. Dad travelled quite a bit, so he wasn't up to date with what I was into. And when I started telling him about my dresser buddy, he wanted to know his name. It was something innocent like Peter or Patrick, but I could still see him going white in the face. I drew Peter Patrick out for him. Very next day, he and my uncle took out that dresser and burned it. It wasn't until a few years later I found out my dad's little brother, my uncle, also had the same friend with the same name who lived in the same antique dresser. After a few months of the typical imaginary friendship, my uncle started having night terrors and couldn't sleep because of Peter/Patrick. It got so bad they had to move him out of his room before he managed to get back to normal.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
Bastard. I've got a factual story here as well. I think this is a quick one. In 1974, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien died on Halloween evening after eating candy laced with cyanide. But the story has an even more horrific twist.
I know
It
this
turned
one.
out the candy was poisoned by Timmy's father, Roland, who was in financial trouble and had taken out insurance policies on his children. In addition to Timmy, Roland O'Brien gave poison candy to 4 other children, including his daughter Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Thankfully, none of them ate it. O'Brien was executed by lethal injection in 1984. You've heard of that one? That's a true one, actually.
I was visiting family for winter break in Los Angeles. This was about 5 years ago. I was heading to the bathroom on the second floor of my aunt's house when I saw my cousin April on the stairs. April was 4 and very animated. She was busy making funny faces while sitting on the stairs. I asked her what she was doing. She said, "I'm copying the lady with the braid." I looked around. There was no one else but us. I asked, "Where is the lady, April?" She pointed to a beam running parallel to the stairwell. I asked April, "What's the lady doing? She's making funny faces." I smiled and started walking up the stairs again when April said something to stop me in my tracks. "April, her braids around her neck." I turned back and asked April to repeat herself. April pointed, "The lady's hanging by her braid. She's making funny faces." Then April started making a face, which I then realised was someone gasping for air.
Blimey. Little bitch. I've got a couple of
That's a
short
funny
ones
prank
just
to
been...
pull on
I've got
someone.
one. Do you want me to do
A
mine?
couple of
then?
short
Mine's
ones
a-
just been sent in. Hang on a minute. Tracy from Tramer writes, "A Mothman keeps setting off my security light."
Alphabet Cat says you were Gripper. Gripper Stepson, whatever his name is.
I thought it was in a way. Dick Kicker 69 says he received an email from his dead father. It was a link to a story about 5G masts turning dogs pansexual. So not. And
Oh, wait a minute. A Mothman
What?
keeps setting off her security light. What?
That's
By
what she
flying
said,
into it?
The Pope's boner says, "As a boy, I always wished good night to the man in the moon. One night, he said it back. It shook all the tiles from the roof." So yeah, keep those coming in. Yeah.
Never seen a man in the moon.
Yeah. You've got to use your imagination. It's like seeing clouds, isn't it? You see things in clouds. Yeah. Whatever the name for it is, but yeah, similar.
Term's called the first image they used on Wikipedia is the face on Cydonia.
Pretty good stuff. So yeah, that's not
Right.
bad.
I'll do mine
Well,
then.
go for it. What we got?
Right. So, okay. In the 18th century, you're going to have to pronounce this for me, Hobbit. It's Gouverdan, an idyllic country territory in France. A horrific series of slayings and scary stories about a killer had residents up in arms, but the perpetrator was believed to be not a man, but a beastly monster that resembled a wolf. The first victim, Jean Boulette, a 14-year-old shepherdess who was mysteriously found dead in 1764 with her throat ripped out. Then another teen victim was discovered a month later. A second victim allegedly described their killer as a horrible beast before taking their last breath.
I think I've heard of this. Yeah, the French
Hundreds
were being
more. Yeah.
plagued by wolf man attacks. Werewolves.
Well,
There was
now.
most of the lycanthropy stuff I've read, it tends to be like Germany and France, doesn't it? You know, the people who think they're animals.
Hundreds more were mauled with their throats or chests ripped out. Creepy stories from those who claim to have survived or witnessed the attacks described an enormous wolf-like animal with black fur, a large chest, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. These witness accounts peppered the newspapers, which quickly dubbed the mysterious creature as the Beast of Gudovan. Locals organised hunting parties in the wake of brutal killings. Jean-Baptiste Demal, an infantry leader of the local militia, organised 30,000 volunteers to hunt down and kill the beast with the promise of a year's salary as a reward. Still, the hunting campaigns were unsuccessful and the body count continued to grow.
Speaking of that name, they pronounce it as Jean, but here's the thing, right? The Francization of the name John is not Jean, it's Jacques. So you remember that thing where I got annoyed that Jack Kennedy is John Kennedy, but apparently Jack is like a nickname for John.
Yeah, Henry and Harry as well. They're interchangeable, which is weird.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Although I thought Harry would be short for Harold, but...
But the thing is, there was a friend
do that
of my
weird
family,
thing with
and his
John
name
and Jack,
was,
don't they?
But literally, my friend's name was Jean-Jacques, and I'm like, so your name is John.
Jack.
Yeah, Jean-Jacques.
Right, and so according to the scary stories that spread across the countryside, a farmer named Jean Chastel, who lost many loved ones to the beast of Jonovan, and decided that matters into his own hands. He allegedly wandered into the mountains armed with nothing but a pistol and some silver bullets. This is where we get the original lycanthropy werewolf story from. After taking a rest to read the Bible in the hopes of luring the creature.
Just want to say, it's commonly known that silver is a powerful antimicrobial antibiotic, and it turns out that silver allergy is prevalent amongst a certain demographic of people. And goblins.
And goblins. Alleged beast appeared in front of him. Somehow, Chastel managed to shoot and kill the beast, triumphantly presenting it later to the king. Some claim that a cornucopia of human remains tumbled out of the wolf's stomach when it was cut open. Ooh,
that's
nasty.
the wrong term for it.
These creepy stories famously inspired Robert Louis Steventon's 1879 book Travels with a Donkey in the Chevrons. Pop culture adaptations like Christopher Gan's 2000 horror film Brotherhood of the Wolf, but there was really a supernatural wolf terrorizing France. Historians have yet to agree on what exactly happened at Jonovan. Some say it was simply mass hysteria and the murderous pack of wolves or lions. Lions? What?
Yeah.
Swamp gas lions. You heard of swamp gas lions, haven't you?
Swamp gas lions. Yeah, okay. We can't decide if it's a wolf or a lion. Okay. That likely caused the killings were exaggerated into a monster. There we go.
Don't believe your
the original werewolf story. Yeah.
Don't believe your lion eyes.
Lion eyes. Oh.
I always thought the silver bullet came from the Hollywood films of werewolves.
No, supposedly it came from France.
Yeah.
Blame the French.
Yeah, a lot of like. Is it like the 1500s? Lycanthropy used to be quite common in like France and Germany. There's quite.
No, this was 1700s. This was 1800s.
I think they go back before lycanthropy goes back before that in France. I'm pretty sure there's tales from the 1500s.
Yeah, I was just going to say in Polish folklore, use a silver sword to defeat demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Witcher uses a silver sword for monsters and a steel one for humans.
Yeah.
There you go.
Correct.
Nice.
That's based on Polish.
I don't know whether you know, but also mirrors used to be backed with silver, didn't they?
Yep, silver fulminate.
Is that so the demons can't get through the mirror?
No, well, that's I was thinking more of like the old thing about vampire reflections can't be seen.
Oh, right.
I wondered if
because
that
it's
has something to
silver,
do
of
with the silver.
course.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's my train of thought.
Yeah, okay. Well, I like that we've synthesised some knowledge from telling these old spooky tales.
Pretty good, that one.
Why doesn't the vampire like a crucifix thrust in his face?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
What?
Well, because Jesus cast the demons out, and what are vampires if not demonic?
Well, they've turned against God, haven't they? That's why.
Well, yeah. Are vampires real though? That is the real question. You know, they're one of the probably only ones
and
not
do they
to
have,
like.
and can they get Tay-Sachs?
Yeah, I was just going to say, please refer to the episode we did on vampires, which I think was one of the older ones, because I don't remember it being in our 100 episode recap.
No, it wasn't.
No,
I
must be
haven't
pre
done
100
vampires
then.
with you guys, so yeah.
Didn't you do the Highgate vampire?
Oh yeah,
we did that. I did that with Zero back in the day.
Yeah.
Isn't Silver's chemical on the periodic table Ag, which is argentum in Latin? So is Argentina the land of silver?
Yes, that is exactly why it's called that.
Interesting, though, isn't it? How would the Latins know about? How would anyone who spoke Latin know about Argentina?
Well, no, it's when they came to Argentina, they called it the land of silver. There used to be, like, the phrase was, up until the early 20th century, as rich as an Argentine. They weren't always, like, LOL, communism.
Yeah. Oh, really? Is that what it's like then? I had no idea what Argentina was like.
Yeah, there was a time when it wasn't completely.
There's a lot of silver in Britain as well.
I just thought there was like cannibalistic giants in Argentina. I think
yes,
you know how people say that Australia doesn't exist. To me, like South America doesn't exist. It's just fairy tales of.
It seems weird considering all the riches they've got that they're so poor. But then again, you could say the same of Africa.
South America doesn't exist. It's just a lie.
I went to Brazil some years ago, and I did go to a black magic ceremony called the Candomblé, and that was interesting.
When you were there,
you get a Brazilian.
Black magic. Was that the name? Was that the name of the dancer?
Was that?
Well, it just looked to me. It was like a priest type guy in charge, and he was just smoking a cigar and just getting hammered while all these women were rolling around on the floor, chanting. Yeah, it was interesting to see.
Did you meet Brutus's ex-girlfriend?
I didn't know.
Maybe she was indoors.
Her indoors. But anyway. Okay. Anyway, who's got a spooky tale?
A voice in the desert. Ooh, two young men in their 20s, Josh and Dan, went on a camping trip together in a desert in New Mexico. They didn't take much with them besides sleeping bags, food, and materials for a fire. After they cooked their dinner, they fell asleep as they gazed up into the starry night sky. The beauty and peace of the trip were short-lived, however. In the early hours of the morning, Josh was startled awake by a coyote. Oh no, by what sounded like Dan's voice, but frantic. The voice said, come here, quick, look. Sleepy and confused.
Come hither, my lover. Is that what he said?
See what his friend was talking about. He heard again, come here, Coca-Cola, quick, look. It sounded unnatural, a perfect repetition. Josh took a few steps forward, and then someone grabbed him from behind. When he turned around to see Dan with his finger in his bum, in front of his mouth, warning Josh to keep quiet. They rolled up their sleeping bags and left. They still don't know who or what was trying to lure Josh away into the desert.
Oh, was it Aleister Crowley and he was going to bum him?
He's just going to join the monastery to perfect his thrill.
That's what happened. That's what happened to Jack Parsons, wasn't it? He got bummed in the desert and it broke him, didn't it?
And Brokeback Mountain as well. That film.
Yeah.
And then
anyone who watches.
And then L. Ron Hubbard stole his missus. Poor old Jack Parsons. A few years ago, I went to a Christmas party. That night, my housemates went home earlier while I decided to stay and get in the Christmas spirit with a few other friends. I ended up getting pretty hammered and got home about 3 a.m. Instead of going straight to bed, I got another beer inside and then went out the back porch to have a smoke and look at the stars. I was outside a couple of minutes when I see the light go on in the kitchen. My housemate comes out and looks at me out the back. I wave, generally look like a drunk idiot. I thought he was going to come out and get a debrief on the rest of the evening, as there are some good laughs we had not relevant to this story. Anyway, he just gets a glass of water and goes to bed. So I finish my smoke and beer, and so do I. The next morning we're rehashing the previous night when he mentions getting up and seeing me have a smoke out the back. Who came back from the party with you last night? I give him a look and said, no one, dude. I was out there alone. He insists, no, man, there was definitely someone out there with you, behind you on the porch when you were looking inside waving. I didn't come out because I thought he was some random friend from the Christmas party I didn't know and could be bothered making introductions. To this day, he stands by this version of events. Whoever it was must have been standing close behind me the whole time. I saw no one and heard nothing. Gives me the willies every time I think about it.
Oh, it gives me the...
That reminds me of a fucking someone I knew at university, and they showed me a photo of a ghostly figure behind like him and his girlfriend at the time. Like it was like, dude. I was like, what?
Ooh.
Weird.
Yeah.
Those caught on film.
Didn't that happen with James May when he's doing something?
Film.
Yeah, there is a video. I think we
Ghosts on film.
Can we look at that video one week on here? The James May video.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
It's pretty queer, isn't it? Yeah.
How queer?
How queer indeed.
When I was about 6, I used to sleep in my parents' room with my bed next to theirs. One morning I woke up and I was covered in ectoplasm. No, that's not the story. Our home is a single story, and in our room...
Sore bum.
Our home is a single story, and in our room the windows are on opposing sides in the corner. What?
What?
Opposing sides in the corner? Eh? You what, mate?
Corner windows. That's a real scary thing here. Not the
How can they be on opposing
windows.
sides in the corner? I think he means like, because the next side over isn't the opposing side, is it? The opposing side is the opposite.
Oh, maybe he just means like the windows are in the corners. Near
That's what he means. They're in the corners,
yeah.
close together, but that's not the opposing sides, is it?
Yeah. Well,
I think he's got his words mixed up.
Yeah, I'd say it was just about, mind you, he'd shit himself, hadn't he? So I'd say it was just about midnight. My parents were long asleep and I was still trying to go to sleep. I looked at the right corner window, see the light that came from the auction place next door, when I saw something walk into view. I could only see the shadow it made through our curtains, which were bed sheets. It was about 6'6", had long slanted head, pointed ears, hooked nose, prominent, that's a anti-Semitic canard, that is. Prominent brow, skinny arms, and it said, hey guys, subscribe to the Daily Wire. Skinny arms with claws roughly 4 inches long. It kept close to its body and was skeletally thin. It walked into view, paused for about 20 seconds, then kept walking on the ramp to the porch.
Sunshine.
I heard its footsteps. I was so terrified I couldn't even move, but eventually gained the courage to pull my blankets over my face.
Wow. Not good.
Yeah.
No one would like that.
No, that shit you up.
That's the thing I've got. When you're like terrified, what's this idea of hiding under the covers? That's going to make things worse, isn't it? Or is it just the idea that you're seeing it will terrify you?
Well, I mean, do you want to see the axe swinging down on you, or do you just want to be in blissful ignorance of it?
Well,
If the covers are made of chainmail.
I mean, the one time it happened to me, I also hid under the covers, so, you know.
What happened to you, Albert?
Well, when I was 14, I felt a presence that was evil in my room.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
And there was ectoplasm all over the sheets when you woke up.
Oh, yeah, actually, you know what? I've had that as well, actually. I wasn't 14. I was like 9 was I 9 or 10? It was at my grand's house. It was fucking... She had one... You know those old Laurel and Hardy dolls? The China doll kind of things? She had those. They're creepy as fuck.
Never seen one of those.
No, you never seen one? Jeez, they're creepy.
Yeah, they're not pleasant.
They come to life.
Yeah, and it was just like I felt like something was like watching me at the foot of the bed, kind of thing. Feeling like, yeah, I was under the covers. I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that brought that back. I was just like, oh shit, yeah,
I've got a
PTSD there.
I've got a spooky story sent in by Harry the Bastard from
Yeah.
High Wycombe. If all right, it goes like this. Let's
Have we
look
got
and
a
see what he
video?
says. A couple of years ago, my dear old Nan passed away. As my parents now live in Spain, after her funeral, it was up to me to clear out her flat. There was 80-odd years of tats to deal with, clothes and ornaments, newspaper cuttings of royal weddings, and for some reason 3 separate copies of Pan St. Clement, alias Pat Butcher's autobiography, The End of an Earring. Lugging boxes of stuff to the charity shop in the height of summer was tiring work, and by the time I got home, I'd have a right sweat on. I cooled off with a beer and a Solero on the sofa with the patio doors wide open. Of course, as soon as you have a lolly, the wasp and all that are after it. Day after day, I ended up
Really
having
old
to
Wasp.
the wasp.
Oh
Yeah,
my bum.
yeah. Day after day, I ended up having to shoo the little buggers outside. By the end of the week, I'd finally got to the last of the stuff bagged up from Grandma's. Feet up, doors open. I hear that buzzing sound again. I stood up to see this big fat bee. It didn't seem interested in my lolly. It was just doing laps of the living room, and then it landed on the wall right in front of me. I got a good look at it and realized that it was the same bee that I'd put outside the day before, and the day before that, and now it was back again. I'd been having this feeling all week that my Nan was with me, and at that moment, I realized that I was right. Until that day, I thought reincarnation was a load of old bullshit. I mean, why are they always Cleopatra, not some peasant who died of rickets and can't even speak English? Blokes who spend their days losing to 12-year-olds on FIFA, fearing that they were Napoleon or Henry VIII. But this bee, God's honest truth, I just knew it was my Nan. When she was alive, she loved the soap operas on TV, and if I put them on, the bee would sit on the arm of the sofa like it was watching. It would
Does
be
this twat
flying
think
up
he's
in
got
the
a pet
corner.
bee or something, does he?
No, he thinks his Nan is the bee reincarnated.
Oh, my
It would be
Nan is
quite-
reincarnated as a bee.
Yeah. It would be flying up in the corner or buzzing on the window, but as soon as the theme to Corrie or EastEnders started, it would settle straight down in front of the telly.
Well, so then he swapped
Nan
it.
used to
swatted
enjoy,
it.
yeah, Nan used to enjoy Britain's Got Talent too. And though I don't normally watch it, I stuck it on to see what would happen. Everything was fine until Ant and Dec came on. Then the bee went berserk. It kept flying into the screen as if it was trying to sting Ant. I remember Nan had gone right off
So
him
the bee
after that
attacked an
drink
ant?
driving business. No, Ant off Ant and Dec.
Oh, no, I'm joking.
I remember Nan had gone right off him after that drink driving business. I think because my granddad loved the booze and she always took it against anyone who hit the bottle. When George Best went, she said, good, like he was Pol Pot or something. Mind you, he had her nightly ferry before bed. Soon enough, my Nan, as a bee, was becoming a regular visitor, and I started leaving out bowls of sugar for her. Though this did lead to an infestation of ants in the kitchen, I had to get some poison powder to get rid of, which made me wonder if any of them
Poison my
had done someone
Nan.
else. Yeah,
Could have poisoned his
someone else
granddad,
in a
couldn't he?
previous. Yeah, exactly. But then you'd have to be a real prick to be sent back as an ant. So fuck 'em.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't remember my Nan having any particular affinity to bees, though I went through her old photos and found a picture of her wearing a black and yellow stripy jumper. Probably don't get to choose what you come back as anyway. As the summer went on, she'd pop in most days, and I'd greet her with a, hello Nan, you alright? And it was nice to have some family about the
Was
place.
this bloke mentally ill?
So you can yeah. So you can only imagine how upsetting it was one morning when I was making a cup of tea, forgot myself for a second, and mashed her against the fridge with a packet of Cocoa Pops. I tried to tell myself it was another bee, but deep down I knew it was her. Imagine knowing you just killed your own grandmother. I felt like I should be punished, but it's not like I could hand myself
What,
in.
he
Down the
should
cop
be
shop.
punished.
Yeah. All I
Just
could do was
behave.
exactly. All I
Yeah.
could do was put her in a matchbox and careful not to touch the stinger, then bury her in the back garden. Supposedly bees don't live that long anyway, so maybe she was due. But then I thought, if she came back once, why not again? After that, if a fly or a beetle or a daddy longlegs came in, I just let them run rampant. I even let a rat in, so I had to put a trap down after it started chewing on the wires. None of them seemed to be particularly like my nan or anyone
I
else
don't
I
think this
saw,
geezer's the
but
full
you never
ticket, is he?
know. Yeah. A blue bottle came in the other day whilst I was wanking. Out of respect, I stopped what I was doing just in case. I wonder what I'll come back as.
Is that
And there
it?
we go. That's
Oh.
that's from Harry the Bastard. Yeah, a nice story about his nan.
We got a video. Does anybody get that reference?
Yeah, the young ones, eh?
Yeah, Harry the
good.
Bastard.
In the days
Harry
of
the
video,
Bastard,
when
who is
no
he?
one
Is
had
he a
anything.
gangster? No, he works down Rumbelows. I travel weekly for work, and I've been staying near Dallas Fort Worth Airport during a week this July. My suite didn't seem out of the ordinary. Monday, no problem. Tuesday, somehow the bathroom door got locked and closed itself during the night, and I couldn't get in. I had to call the engineers to open it. I thought it was strange, but whatever. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, I've dreamt the bathroom faucet was running. I woke up hearing my faucet running. Tap, that is for normal people. Running full blast. No one was in my room, and I certainly didn't turn it on. The faucet had separate hot-cold handles, and it took a little force to turn the water on. I looked at the time, and it was 3:15 a.m. I then turned all the lights on and waited till 8 a.m. to check out. I should have asked for another room right then.
3:15.
Have you been to the Faucet Inn?
The Faucet Inn.
Have you tried their cider, the Faucet Inn cider?
Yeah. I heard just down the road there's Big Dicks halfway in.
Well, I used to put things in cider. The first thing I put in cider, I'll put my organ in cider.
I've got to go now. I've got to get my wife to Oldham, then I'm going to bang her.
Endorse it.
Yeah. But it doesn't work. It's not a double entendre.
Yeah.
No, that's
Alaska.
Yeah. I got a short one here, another short true one actually. In 2005, a 42-year-old woman in Delaware committed suicide by hanging herself from a tree across the street from a residential area. Though the body was easily visible to passers-by and passing vehicles, no one called the police for hours. Why? They assumed the woman swaying in the wind was a Halloween decoration.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there. That really happened.
that's spooky dooky.
It is. It fit you up, man. Oh.
Small of the
yeah,
story is
you are.
don't pretend to want to kill yourself during Halloween. You might get confused as a decoration. Is that the
Exactly,
novel?
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't do you cry for help during Halloween. You might get confused as a decoration.
Yeah.
I've got one sent in, and I've got one sent in here, another shorter one. So this one sent in from the Mental Cabbage from Hull, and he says this. As a young bachelor at the beginning of my career, I became very successful very quickly, so I bought myself a house. One morning, I awoke to the sound of running water. I rushed to the bathroom and saw that the bathtub tap was running on full blast. I was perturbed by this as I lived alone. A week later, it happened again, only this time, it wasn't just one tap, it was all the taps in the house. I called the plumber to fix the pipes and the water damage, but as it turned out, the pipes weren't broken. The plumber, a local man, visibly shaken. What's wrong? I asked. The woman who lived here before you, replied the plumber. She drowned in the bathtub.
So is that why you got it for a great price?
Yeah, could be, yeah. But I think haunted houses are probably more expensive these days, aren't they? 'Cause you've probably got a bit of, no, you'd probably, if you wanted to buy the house of the Enfield haunting, for example, I think it's a council house, but if it did come on the market, I imagine, you would get certain people who would pay a lot of money for that, wouldn't you?
Well, that's if you can get hold of those houses, because if, like, they demolished Fred West's house.
Yeah, that's because he killed children. The Enfield house, some girls jumped off a bed.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
but he
haunted.
did a good patio. He should have had a blue plaque for those patios, shouldn't he?
So, yeah. You can visit. Actually, I'm going up that way next week. I would like, maybe I could take a detour and go and visit the site. It's just a path now, isn't it? It's a walkway. No house there anymore. But yeah, I'd like to actually go to Cromwell Street and have a look. Maybe get something on film for F words, isn't it?
The cycle path.
Yeah, there's a path. It's next to
Oh,
a
in fact,
church.
where you meet the psychopaths.
Yeah,
Psychopaths are for those sort of people.
they were cycle paths. Yeah.
Or as they're also known, lycra-clad terrorists.
Yeah,
Well, how about this
so
one
that's
then?
good.
We bought an old
Sorry.
house, my boyfriend and I. He's in charge of the new construction, converting the kitchen into the master bedroom, for instance, while I'm on wallpaper removal duty. The previous owner papered every wall and ceiling. Removing it is brutal, but oddly satisfying. The best feeling is getting a long peel, similar to your skin when you're peeling from a sunburn. I don't know about you, but I kind of make the game of peeling on the hunt for the longest piece before it rips. Under a corner section of paper in every room is a person's name and date. Curiosity got the best of me one night when I googled one of the names and discovered the person was actually a missing person. The missing date matching the date under the wallpaper. Next day I made a list of all the names and dates. Sure enough, each name was for a missing person with dates to match. We notified the police, who naturally sent out the crime scene team. I overheard one text say, "Yup, it's human. What's human? Ma'am, this is where is the material removed from the walls already? This isn't wallpaper you were removing."
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. That's not nice. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think these are creepypastas, aren't they? I think.
Nice.
Echoes of the past. A young bachelor at the beginning of his career became very successful very quickly.
That sounds
Oh,
right.
I've already said that. Yeah, the things as well. No one steals twice. Jen went to the same convenience store every day after school for a snake. Over time, she became good friends with the cashier, Lucy. Out of curiosity, one day Jen asked Lucy how she would stop someone if they tried to steal from the store. Lucy replied, "Oh, no one ever steals anything from here twice. The store won't let them." Jen didn't know what that meant, but dropped the subject. When she went back to the store at the start of the next school week, Jen walked in to find Lucy talking to some cops. Apparently a man stole from the store and drove off, but his brakes mysteriously failed and his car went soaring off a cliff. The cops asked Lucy if she knew what happened. "No," she said. "I was stocking the back room. I didn't even know he came in. No one ever steals twice. We didn't burn him." I hope people
So
get
he was
that.
murdered then by supernatural forces.
Yeah.
Or shot in the stomach with a crossbow bolt and then set on fire.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, beautiful. That's nice.
Well, I'm just thinking of the League of Gentlemen. It's an
it's
old
good.
reference, but it checks out.
I've got a short one then on this one. It's called Yes. Right, so when I was a child, my family moved to a big 2-floor house with a big empty rooms and crackling floorboards. Both my parents worked, so I was often alone. When I
Bloody
came home from
Yanks,
school,
2-4 house. Why can't they say
Yeah,
2-story
I know.
house like normal people?
Yeah. One early evening when I came home, the house was still dark. I called out, "Mum," and I heard her sing-song voice say yes from upstairs. I called her again as I climbed the stairs to see which room she was in, and again not the same yes reply. We were decorating at the time, and I didn't know my way around the maze of rooms, but she was in one of the far ones, right down the hall. I felt uneasy, but I figured that was only natural, so I rushed forward to see my mum, knowing that her presence would calmed my fears as a mother's presence always does. Just as I reached the handle of the door to let myself into the room, I heard the front door downstairs open and my mother call, "Sweetie, are you home?" In a cheery voice, I jumped back, startled, and ran down the stairs to her. As I glanced back from the top of the stairs, the door to the room slowly opened a crack. For a brief moment, I saw something strange in there. And I don't know what it was, but it was staring at me. Ooh.
It wasn't his mum.
No, it was his
It
auntie.
was something
maybe.
else.
His
Yeah.
crazy auntie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
fucked up shit going
supernatural.
on. Could have been the Amityville house.
Why do ghosts like kids? That's the real question.
It's because they're.
I think it's more that children are more able to see that other world because they haven't been indoctrinated into the way
True.
things are yet.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, right, yeah. You got to believe in spinning mud balls and everything else, right? Pay
You've
your
got to believe
taxes, yeah.
in compounding interest in the market. You know, you replace one set of like ghosts and goblins with, oh, it's a bull market, it's a bear market, it's a bull market, it's a bear market.
So how do you think they do it then to adults to stop them seeing like these things? Well, I guess we don't stop seeing it.
It
We
fades,
just kind of
doesn't
like
it?
the kids do.
I think it fades
Yeah,
for most
like-
people.
You filter
then-
it out.
So then, how do they do it? That's the real question. Like, what is it like? Reality
I
TV?
think
Or
it's just like
Is it like
and-
you know like kids that remember their previous lives? Do you reckon it's like your soul like getting comfy in its new body or something? And once it's fully in, that's when this sort of stuff
oh,
stops.
that's a good. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that is.
So
it,
like
yeah.
you're not quite in you're like your body and your soul aren't quite synced.
Well, that's
or
it. They
something.
say. Well, that's it. Maybe like you for the first like what was it 4 years you don't remember anything, and then after that you
Yeah.
suddenly become conscious, cognizant kind of.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah,
many of
memory.
these stories with kids, isn't there?
Yeah.
And so many like imaginary friends and whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard any of those creepy things kids say? Hold on, I'll see if I can find some of those.
Is that program with Ronnie Corbett? He would
No,
laugh at
only it's a bit
children.
more weird than that.
Speaking of creepy things kids say, so there's this guy and he's playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and his autistic 8-year-old cousin wants to play it as well. So she goes around and she's hunting and skinning animals and she's going to the shop and she's selling the pelts for money. And then she kills a prostitute and then she says to her cousin, "Why can't I skin her?"
I mean, I'd probably ask that as well. What's wrong with this game? Why can't I skin her?
You're right. I mean, it's a bit consistent. Like, she's figured out all these creatures have skin, but for some reason you're not allowed to skin a prostitute. I mean, I remember back when GTA you could run over a series of Hare Krishnas, which made Brutus very upset.
How about this one then? Go back to sleep. There isn't anything under your bed. He's behind you now. Still haven't got over that one and shiver at the memory.
It's not bad.
Oh. Walking past an old cemetery, my then 3-year-old son casually said, "My brother's in there." When I reminded him he didn't have a brother, he said, "No, Mama, from before, when the other lady was my mummy."
Oh, that's fucked up.
Freaky.
Oh, there was one that I remember about a kid looking out of the window, and there was this house like looked opposite. There was a cemetery opposite, and saying like, "What are all those people doing over there?" Then the parent looked over, and there was nobody there. It's like, yeah, so many of those.
Well, I've got another one. This is a funny one, actually. Yeah.
Oh, how about this one then? When my cousin was
wait.
This is a quick one, Fraser. When my cousin was 2 years old or so, my mum got her mum got pregnant again. One day she went to hug her mum's belly and said, "Little brother's sick." A few days later, she had a miscarriage.
Oh.
That's fucking creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh damn.
So sad.
Yeah. So okay, right. Let's lighten the mood then, shall we? Okay.
Yeah.
A man leaves his house every morning to walk to work and passes a mental hospital surrounded by a wooden fence. Every morning the patients are out in the yard and you can hear them saying in unison, 10, 10, 10, 10. One day he gets curious and looks through a hole in the fence. Suddenly a stick shoots out and pokes him in the eye. "Fuck," he says to himself. while walking away, pissed off, he can hear the patient saying 11, 11, 11.
How about this one then? Getting my 2.5-year-old daughter out the bath one night, my wife and I were briefing her on how important it was to keep her privates clean. She casually replied, "Oh, nobody scroofs me there. They tried one night. They kicked the door in and tried, but I fought back. I died and now I'm here." She said it like it was nothing.
Messed up. On a story that comes from Benson and Hedges in Bristol. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Not Lambert and Butler.
What, Benson and Hedges, like the purveyor of tobacco?
Yeah.
Not Lambert and
name.
Butler.
I think that's just his handle online. He just doesn't want to use his real name. But he sent this one in. Let's have a look. This happened when I was about 9 years old. At the time, I loved trick or treat in my neighborhood. This was short-lived because in the end, it wasn't exactly safe anymore. In that year, which was 1992, I attended a church Halloween party. There were many kids which I recognized from school and nearby areas. I dressed up in a little devil costume that year, complete with paste on horns. It was a little bold for a church party, but several of the other kids were dressed like devils and many of the girls dressed as witches. The party host was called Father Francis, and he stood greeting everyone as they arrived. I remember he was dressed like a version of Captain Hook. Every kid received a goodie bag from Father Francis, but for some reason, every kid who was dressed up as a witch or a devil got a bag of homemade cookies. They looked like sugar cookies, with powdered sugar dusting on top. The party was great fun, but I was eager to get home and try a cookie. Father Francis had told us not to eat the cookies there because he said it was our little secret. I saw nothing sinister at the time, but looking back, something seemed weird and wrong. When I got home, I decided to try one the next day. I remember finally trying a cookie. I almost immediately spat it out in the bin. It tasted really bad, and the powdered sugar was bitter tasting. My mum noticed my reaction and asked to try one. Her reaction was identical to mine. She demanded to know where I had got them from. I told her Father Francis had given me a bag of them. Grabbing the bag, she inspected the cookies. She smelt the bag, making a suspicious face. Then she tasted the powdered sugar. Her eyes widened as she hurled the whole bag of cookies in the rubbish and told me not to eat them as they were bad. As it was a Saturday, we had no way of contacting the others who were at the party. But on Monday, I learned that the worst had happened. 16 children, all of whom were given bags of cookies, had been hospitalized for contamination. We learned that the powdered sugar was in fact rat poison. Of the 16 children who got sick, 2 died as they had eaten the whole bag of cookies. Thankfully, I never got sick, as I had only bitten one, but never swallowed it. Father Francis ended up going to prison for 20 years for his involvement. He claimed to his defense he was doing God's work by ridding the world of evil. He turned out to be an evil man who felt no pity for the children who got sick or the other 2 who had sadly died. I heard as they hurled him off to prison, he was screaming, "I did God's work. I am a tool of God. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong." From then on, I never attended another church party of any kind. My trust for those figures was pretty much destroyed. I've also never accepted baked goods from anyone again, and I kept thinking if I had been one of the others who had eaten a full bag, chances are I would have been hospitalized, or much worse. The moral of the story is to be careful what you accept from others, even if they are a person of the cloth.
How about this one then? My 4-year-old son and I were waiting for our food at Panera, must be American chain. While we stood there, he started rubbing my belly and talking to it. I asked him what he was doing. He said he was talking to the baby. I informed him I was not pregnant. He said, "There is a baby in your belly. I just saw it crawl across the floor and climb up into you."
Oh. What?
Gross. That's gross, dude.
That's fucking horrible, isn't it?
That's what they say on Jackass. Gross, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a 1-bedroom apartment once, and as soon as it got dark enough to inside, old dude would walk from the bedroom to the bathroom all night. To warn people the first time they came over, you were going to see a ghost. Mid-conversation, people would stop talking and be like, "Holy shit, I just saw a ghost." "Yeah, no shit, I warned you." One time I was in the bathroom when he attempted to walk in and just dissolved into a dissipated very quickly. My current house I share with my wife is a 3-bedroom house, and we sleep on a futon in the living room because the ghosts in this house were chain smokers in the main bedroom. We wake up every night between 3 and 3 a.m. if we sleep on the second floor, coughing our lungs out because the room is full of cigarette smoke.
Oh, fucking hell.
Never
Weird.
smoked in bed.
Yeah.
My sister my sister described her imaginary friend saying he sits on my bed and waits for his mum. He's not allowed to go home by himself because of his arm. I asked what happened to his arm, and she said his mum ran him over when he was drawing with chalk. That's why he's always crying, because he doesn't like being dead.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's pretty dark.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Right. Should we go for another short one then?
Go for it. Let's see.
Okay, right. This is a short one. There was a story about a guy who was driving through the mountains, ex-army, and came across a crash. A car wasn't damaged at all and almost deliberately placed in the middle of the road. He drove past and saw 2 people lying on the road. He pulls up in front of the crash and then looks back to see the people sat up, 20 or so eyes reflecting in his taillights from the surrounding bushes. He slams on the gas and goes, "The story scares me because this kind of thing happens with the mountain tribes who are either cannibalistic or crazy."
Oh, Jesus.
Nightmare.
Pass.
My family recently
Not
moved to a
hard.
new home in a new country. It was a well-furnished apartment. In our bedroom was a painting that looked like hair free-flowing in the air. It wasn't a pleasant or soothing painting, but I was trying to make peace with it. My son was 2.5 years old then. One day I was settling down for his afternoon nap in my bedroom when he said, "I don't want to sleep in this room." I asked him why, and he said, "This painting looks at me and tries to talk at me, and I don't like it."
Well, I can well believe it. We covered the what was it? The boy painted the crying boy, wasn't it? The
Yeah,
crying
boy,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah,
boy.
we've done the Crying Boy in a number of episodes. That one's
We've done
like
it twice.
messed up.
I think we did it in one we called Curious Tales,
Yeah.
and you also did it in the one you did more recently in
Yeah.
more depth. Very peculiar.
Mm.
Horrible paintings, though. Who would put that on their wall? I
Mm.
remember estate people used to have them on their walls in the 80s. They would go around someone's house, lived on the estate, whose father liked Elvis. They'd often have that kind of shit on the wall. But anyway, I've got another true one, actually, another true story. How about this one? One night in Long Island, just before Halloween 2014, a decapitated body laid in the street 5 feet from a severed head. To many passers-by, the horrific sight appeared to be a Halloween prank, but the truth was far more disturbing. 35-year-old Derek Ward had used a kitchen knife to kill and decapitate his mother, Patricia, then carried the body and the head out of their apartment. After leaving the body and the head in the street, Ward jumped in front of a commuter train, killing himself. There you go. How about that then, eh? How's about that then, eh?
How's about that then? My daughter was 3 and I was getting her ready for the day. She'd been waking up with nightmares almost every night for a month or 2. I asked what she wanted for breakfast. She told me she wanted to share it with the dead baby in her closet. I thought she meant one of her dolls, but when I pulled them out, she said, "No, not a doll, the dead one that sleeps on the closet floor at night." Fuck.
That's not disturbing in the fucking slightest.
I put that child into care. But yeah, queer, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Dirty queer.
Yeah, exactly. We got one from this one. This was sent in. This is one sent in from the Anal Intruder from Sheffield, and it goes like this: the carnival comes to town every summer, but this year was no different. But Charlie had just started working there, so he didn't know what the rest of the workers knew about the Ferris wheel he was in charge of operating. The first night of the carnival was bustling with people, but as it came to a close, it was practically a ghost town. However, there was one boy who showed up in the last minute. "One for the Ferris wheel, please," the boy said, giving Charlie a ticket. Charlie looked around. "Where are your parents?" he asked the little boy. The boy just took his seat and didn't answer. Unsure of what to do, he let the boy go on the ride. But when the ride was over, the boy was no longer in his seat and was nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
Yeah. Charlie then ran to his boss, telling him the story. The boss casually said, "Oh, that's Thomas." He handed Charlie a clipping from an old newspaper. It had the boy's picture and the headline, "Boy falls from Ferris wheel, 8 years old." Yeah, obviously.
Not
Boy came
creepy,
back
but
from the
sad. My best friend
There you go.
died, and I was trying to get back to my hometown for a funeral. I got overwhelmed with grief and laid my head down on my desk and started crying. My daughter came into the kitchen and asked me what was wrong. She was 8 at the time. I told her I was so sad because my friend had died and I was missing her so much. My kiddo said, "Don't be so sad, Mummy. She's just standing right next to you." I still get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh,
Unusual.
I got one.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When I was 6, I spent a long weekend at my friend's house in Montana. I slept on the floor of his room in a sleeping bag. One night, I sat up, covered in sweat and shaking. I was 100% awake. Then I watched as a Grim Reaper-like figure floated from the shadows to the other side of the room, where there was a wall. He peeled back the wall as if it were a curtain, and then I saw my home city at dusk, covered in flames, people screaming, pointed at the city and said, "This is how it ends." I ran to the bathroom and stayed there the rest of the night. No one believes it happened.
Fucking hell.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I could believe
Yeah.
that.
When
A couple of
I was
go on,
about
go on.
4, my mum found me in the bathroom with all my Barbies, making them float face down in the bath. When she asked what I was doing, I replied, "The man in the wardrobe told me if I didn't do it, it'd be my turn to swim face down."
Oh, fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
got a couple of users, a couple of viewers sent me some short ones as well. Margaret Chocolate Tunnel tells us, "I live near the beach, and though I haven't seen it myself, there's talk of a seagull round here the size of a man. People keep going missing, and the council pay a bloke to sweep up its massive bird shits off the pavement every morning. So I have heard." That one. And Twitter user, "Out My Poor Hole," says he went to a palm reader who told him that he was going to suffer great misfortune. 6 months later, he was arrested for assaulting someone in a kebab shop and got fined £120 with £85 cost. So yeah, there you go. A couple of quick ones there from the viewers.
The other week, I was reading my 2-year-old daughter a bedtime story. When we finished, we were talking about being scared of ghosts, monsters, trolls, etc. She turned to me and said, "Daddy, I'm not scared of ghosts. Scared of ghosts." I asked, "Why is that?" To which she replied, "Because the one that comes into my room at night and strokes my hair is a nice one."
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, hang on, the one about massive misfortune and then being charged, what, 200 quid for assault? I think you got off lightly there. So that's pretty good fortune.
That is it. But yeah. Yes, that's good stuff. I've never been charged for assault, though I did have to do a bad boy driving course before Christmas. Going too far.
I've done one of those recently. I think it was last year.
I've done 2 of those. I've done 2 of those. Luckily, they were 5 years apart. So
Oh yeah, you can do them. I think I'm on about my 2nd or 3rd bad boy driving course.
It's not. They don't teach you anything. It's just they know that they're wasting like 2 or 3 hours of your life. So
yeah, it's basically you pay the 120 quid plus an hour of your life you don't get back.
It's like being in prison for 2 hours.
Have you done a Zoom call one yet? They're quite funny.
Yeah, I did.
Because there's always someone whose missus comes in and chats to him for about 5 minutes while you're on the call, which is supposed to be an instant fail.
Oh, my router fucked up when I was on mine, so I had to restart it, and they were,
Mm.
they didn't mind. Like
They
what happens with
literally
you,
don't
but,
give a shit. As long as you're there at the start, they don't really care, do
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, but I did one where you actually had to turn up in person quite a few years ago now, and yeah, that was a bit shit actually. It took about 4 hours, and you had to pay for coffee as well. So there was no free coffee and sandwiches, which I was disappointed about. But
Ooh.
yeah,
How about this one then? My 6-year-old nephew told my brother that everyone on Earth was a figment of Jonah's imagination. That when Jonah wakes up, we'll all disappear. When asked who Jonah is, he replied verbatim, "He's the one who sleeps, the dreamer in the dream." Made my skin crawl the first time he told me.
Isn't that Cthulhu?
It's a bit like
That's
simulation
Cthulhu,
theory.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's something. I think I've read. I
That's
heard it before.
Cthulhu. That's Cthulhu, right?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay then.
Oh, is it? No, not Cthulhu. What's it called? Yog. Something.
dog.
Oh,
No.
yeah, I know the sleeping
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, the
Which-
sleeping one, and if he wakes, we all die or something, right?
Yeah, because we're just a dream of
Oh,
the
right.
sleeping
So that's
god.
what that is.
Yeah.
How about this one then? So I shouldn't throw him in the fire. 3-year-old daughter holding her baby brother for the first time.
That's a serial killer in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? There's some good
Yeah.
stuff going round at Halloween, though. It is a good
Mm.
a good period. I prefer it to Christmas. So
God, I'm scrolling through all these stories, and it's like, yeah, sleep paralysis. Another one, sleep paralysis. It's like-
I've done all mine, so I've done my stories.
My 4-year-old son said, "Daddy, I want to drill into your tummy, crawl inside and eat your dinner." The food was okay, but I don't think it was worth that much effort.
Kids say the darndest things.
What we will do one Halloween though is review the Halloween stories. No, not the films. But there's 13 of them, and there's a lot to do, and that's going to be a big job.
Yeah, and everyone moans about the Rob Zombie ones.
No, we've got to go through them. But,
I've seen them all. I'll probably watch the originals up to about 5 again.
Well,
I think the rest I've seen them off the top of my head.
I've seen them all, but the last two I was quite pissed when I watched them, so I've forgotten what they were about.
You have to be.
Yeah.
They're pretty rubbish.
But I was disappointed to miss last week's episode, the 200th show, because I was working that night.
It's it's well worth listening back to. I mean, the people in the chat managed to find the Shark Science episode, which was my favourite.
Yeah.
I will try and make the 300th episode.
Here's what I've got.
So 2 years from now, let's go.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years from now, yeah.
I suppose it will be, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Unexplained Mysteries. New scans reveal what lies inside the gruesome Fiji mermaid. Do you want to do this one, Ian? So you're the Fiji mermaid expert.
I did. Well, it was
a zoologist.
The last.
I'll put it in general if you want to read it, Ian.
Yeah, okay, let's have a look what we got. They scanned it originally and it was paper mache, but what's this one? There's a few of them though. But let's have a look. The infamous creature made from amalgamation of other animals subjected to X-ray and CT scans. Well, we knew that though. While it may be referred to as a mermaid, the grotesque-looking beast is about as far from the beautiful sirens of mythology as is possible to get.
That's a different one because it's in a different position, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a few of them. In fact, there's one in the is it the Natural History Museum? There's one in there even. Yeah.
So it's
anyway,
a Fiji mermaid, not the Fiji mermaid.
Wait. Why would they put a mermaid in a natural history museum if they're not real?
Well, they got all sorts
it's still history, isn't it? If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Or is it the Science Museum? It's one of the two. I can't remember. They're both next to each other. But yeah, I think it's the Natural History Museum that there is one in there. I remember seeing. But yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, what does it say here? Fast forward 115 years, and now CT scans and X-rays have finally revealed exactly what manner of creature.
Well, I haven't done exactly. Spoilers.
Turns out to be, in fact, part fish, part monkey, part reptile. There's the head and torso of a monkey. The hands seem to be that of an amphibian, most likely an alligator, crocodile, or lizard. And said radiologist Joseph Kress of North Kentucky University. And then there's the tail of a fish, again, species unknown. Obviously fashioned almost Frankenstein together. Frankenstein was the doctor, not the monster.
Oh,
wrong.
I think
Frankenstein. Hold on. Frankenstein would be acceptable as a verb.
Yeah,
but also,
because he Frankenstein's the monster.
Is the monster. Yeah. Because
right,
man's the real monster, isn't it, Hobbit? Man's the real monster.
The businessman is the real monster.
Not man, Dr. Frankenstein.
The Frankenstein.
His cousins work in the Goblin Bank.
So they put that together, and that's it. So yeah. We knew that anyway, we covered that. But yes.
Enfield poltergeist photographer maintains paranormal force theory.
He was on, there's a program on BBC Two at the moment on Friday night, isn't it? What's that called? Did you see it? It's about ghosts. It's good.
No,
BBC
I didn't
2,
know.
I can't, hang on, BBC Two. It's like, he was on Friday, it was part 2. Hang on.
Have you noticed the full moon Ash just pointed out?
What do you mean? What about the full moon?
After the full moon?
Well, it's a full moon tonight.
Is it?
The wheel will also be out. It's called The Uncanny, and it's on 9 o'clock on Friday evenings. You can get it on iPlayer.
We can catch it up on the BBC iPlayer.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It is good. He did 2 so far.
Oh, so Maurice Gross thinks that it came from Janet, which is what everybody said all along.
Well, he was there just to get his hands on
he was trying to get with the mum, weren't he? Single parent, single mother.
No, he was trying.
Single mother, not a lot of money, couple of kids. Oh, Maurice Gross, I'll be your daddy.
Yeah. Dirty bastard.
Did you want to do man allegedly found and buried the Loch Ness Monster 81 years ago?
Yeah, go for that.
Have you heard this one?
It doesn't ring a bell. 81 years ago.
I've chucked it in.
No.
There you go.
Let's have a look then. Visit site. Let's have a look. 81 years ago. So Scottish.
This front page is literally just Ian's episodes.
According to reports, the incident was reported in 1980 by the Herald concerning a man by the name of Charles Rackin, along with another unnamed individual, discovered the carcass of an animal like which they'd never seen before in 1942. I decided to dispose of the carcass because the smell became really offensive, and this had to be done before the tide flowed again. The man told the paper at the time the carcass was cut up into pieces and moved to the town's incinerator grounds. The remains were buried in the grounds of the incinerator. I had to dig them up at a later date once the flesh had decomposed. I think he probably found a decomposing whale carcass, if anything. It doesn't really describe the carcass here, doesn't it?
It's all bullshit, isn't it? He didn't.
Well, no, he could have found it could have been a whale carcass, which is often,
Oh, but do you want to do the next one I just put in? Because you're our sound expert.
Talking cat, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a few seconds. Right, there we go. I'm still burning in my graphics card, so I'm getting a nice smell of cooked paste at the moment. And 14-year-old Bella Spink has a purr so loud that it's been likened to the volume of a boiling kettle. The sound of a cat's purr can often be relaxing. That is, at least when the sound produced by your feeding companion isn't so loud, you have to turn the volume up on the television to hear it. Enter Bella, a 14-year-old cat from Huntington in Cambridgeshire, whose extremely loud purr has recently netted her a place in the record books. She's been our only family's companion for many years. We love her to bits and are so proud of her achievement, said her owner Nicole. Following a visit from the official Guinness World Records adjudicator, it was determined that Bella's purr measures 54.6 decibels, comfortably
loud?
beating the previous record holder of 50 decibels.
Is that what sort of loudness is that?
Well, a loud conversation is 60 to 70 decibels.
Right. Okay.
So
And
it's louder
it's
than
exponential, isn't it?
logarithmic.
Yeah.
So 50 decibels is 10 times more energy than 40 decibels. We've always known Bella had a really loud purr. We even had to turn up the volume to hear the television over her purring. And that's always after meal times, said Nicole. So when we saw the record for the world's loudest purr was up for grabs, we knew we had to put Bella forward, and we're so pleased we did. There's a video, you can hear it purring.
Did they get the record? Is it the
Yeah, it
loudest? Nice.
The minimum that you have to achieve.
So there was an adjudicator from the Guinness Records,
I
World
bet it weren't
Records,
Norris McWhirter because he's dead, I think.
and he's got a clipboard, and he's making like an effort, to look very official and
You
stuff.
can't beat a British bloke with a clipboard, can you?
The
The
IRA
thing
killed him,
about
didn't they?
the Guinness Book of
No, they killed
Records,
his
it was
brother,
literally
didn't they?
just made to sell pub debates on who is the biggest, strongest, brightest, and whatever.
Well, they killed his brother, didn't they? His brother, what's his brother's name? Norris's brother?
Ross McWhirter.
Ross
Two of them.
McWhirter got killed by the IRA.
I did a record. I've done a world record as well.
Shit.
Stickiest
I
bogey.
haven't got a. Well, I used to have a world. I don't think I got it anymore. Oh, blowing up the most balloons, and I did that in 1994. I was part of the team that did that, and we broke the world record. But I don't know if the record still stands. But it's on YouTube, though. You can see it on YouTube. Yeah,
Oh, I was
blowing
gonna
up the
say-
most balloons, most balloons. It wasn't. I haven't got the 100 meters record or anything like that. Don't get the wrong idea.
You didn't do the you didn't have the smelliest fart.
World stupidest
that's-
bottom burp.
Yeah, that's it.
England.
That's Tox's Third Grady, USA.
Have we shown? Did we show?
No, that
it-
was
have
Rick
we
Britton,
shown
weren't
the-
it? It's world stupidest
Rick
bottom
Britton,
burp.
yeah.
It was Rick Britton, weren't it?
It wasn't. It wasn't. But have we shown the people on train spot Bigfoot video to the viewers? Have we seen?
What exactly is intelligence, and could it really be an ethical liability? Fucking hell.
Have we showed that video though?
What video?
Bigfoot on a train or whatever it was.
Yeah, but it's literally bollocks because it's Bigfoot train tours. Is the train it was taken
I'm
from?
having a look now.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's all
Supposedly, it's
spotted
in the middle of nowhere in Colorado or something.
Here's a thought with all these cryptids and stuff. Do you ever think like there's a concerted effort to muddy the waters on this stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I believe in cryptids, but I also believe the evidence shown for it is like deliberately shit.
Well,
Do you think
the thing
people
is,
cynical?
it's difficult to get evidence, and you can. The way I look at it is, go to these places to try and find the cryptid, and you fail. But the places they're always nice places. Like you go to the country somewhere, don't you? So you take a picnic with you, and if you don't see a cryptid, at least you have a nice day out. in the
What? So you'll
country
only
or-
believe it if there's a picture of it going through someone's bins.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing, like
It's
when
like
they do the investigation,
There's a bloke in Manchester.
Go for, like in one day, don't they? Like
There was a bloke in Manchester found it walking through. Weren't there?
I think it's the World Economic Forum, like dressing people up to distract.
it's just their Halloween
real
party.
world
Is
stuff.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Only time will tell. But they
But,
still get to find.
I think that they only do it for a short amount of time. They don't do like an extended study, like camp out for 2-3 months, maybe 6 months.
But
Well, there was that Bigfoot show in the US, wasn't there? And it just went on for series after series, and
I
we just
haven't-
never found anything.
I haven't watched any of
there's
it.
lots of them. Alaskan
Have you-
Monsters is the best.
Have you
one.
seen Minnesota man's gargantuan pumpkin sets new world record in California? Winning entry was a
Let's have a
giant
look.
jack-o'-lantern gourd, weighing in at a staggering 2,749 pounds or 1,247 kilograms, or a couple. I wonder how many. Or that's 1,247 bags of sugar. No,
They just,
is a bag
they
of
just,
sugar a pound?
these-
A bag of sugar is a pound, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's 2,749 bags of
Pound.
sugar. How many bags of
Well,
sugar do you
giant
get in a
fruits are
pallet?
just full of water.
Well,
It
How
didn't
many
just win the
bags of sugar on
competition,
a
it also
pallet?
broke the world record, which was set in 2021 by an Italian, which was 2,702 pounds.
All right.
How
wow.
many bags of sugar in a pallet? I guess it depends on the maximum weight a forklift.
Yeah, exactly.
So pallets are
lift a pallet.
a maximum of 1 ton. That's the most a pump jack can do. There are pallets which are over a ton, but they can only be forked off of a lorry.
Aren't they?
So you think about it, you've got forklift trucks that lift up
If I
cars.
say how many bags of sugar on a pallet?
What kind of cargo do you transport then, Hobbit? Sugar?
Oh, interdimensional lizard says sometimes you get 500-gram bags of sugar because of shrinkflation in it.
Oh, a full pallet. Full pallet weighs approximately 2,500 pounds.
Yeah, so that's a ton.
Yeah,
How many bags of fentanyl do you transport?
more than 5 times.
To the best of my knowledge, none.
How many prostitutes?
So that's
do you
just
kill?
over. So that's just. So that's
That is privileged information.
that pumpkin is over a ton then. Okay,
Yep.
that's killed that one.
That's a big one. This is my world.
NASA
record
has
there,
launched the
not in.
mission to visit a 10,000 quadrillion asteroid. Dollars. $10,000 quadrillion asteroid. Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Oh, you're saying it's worth that much in
Yeah.
dollar value?
Metals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rare
So-
metals or whatever.
When they get it, will that wipe out the US national debt and the rest of the
Course
world's
not.
debt?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
they've
gonna
got
be
to
the
they've got to
great-
send it to Earth somehow, right?
They're going to
Global
crash it in
reset.
India.
Hopefully. NASA's Psyche mission.
Why are Indians so smelly? That's a real
Why have
Fortean
they called the
subject.
mission Psyche? Is it like are they just like being so on the nose
Psychos.
about bullshitting
Yeah.
you know?
Of course they are.
They're like
Yeah.
Psyche.
What just wrecked the mic
Told
site?
you. What just wrecked the mic? What just wrecked the mic? Psych.
You never hear stories of Indians being plagued by ghosts.
Yeah.
I mean, the ghosts be like, look, I might be dead and have no sense of smell, but you're too stinky.
But they are plagued by Bigfoot, though, and that appears in their Indian art.
Have you seen the
Oh,
tomb of
yeah,
the tomb
the,
of
the
Cerberus has
Yeti.
been unearthed by archaeologists in Italy?
In
Really?
Italy.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Cerberus. That's Greek, though.
What's Cerberus doing in Italy?
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
I'm
know. Who
saying.
wants,
Like,
who wants to read the article? Yeah, there you go.
The three-headed dog, isn't it? Cerberus.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, guardian of the underworld in Greek mythology.
3 heads, 3 bodies
Go
by,
for it,
as well,
Tom.
by the looks. Or 3 chests.
And
who
a
was
bit
reading-
of Serbia.
who's
I'll
reading
read
it
it.
then?
I'll read it.
Okay.
I'll read it.
Bear in mind
Cerberus.
the Greeks did colonise Italy.
Hmm.
True. Right, okay, so the remarkable seal tomb, which is believed to date back 2,000 years, was found in Guiliana. I can't say that. Guiliana? Yeah, that's all you're getting from me. Said the god.
Is it
Said the god the entrance to the
Googliano?
underworld.
Googliano? I think it'd be Googliano.
Guiliana. Oh,
Googliano would be.
Guiliana, yeah.
Googly eyes.
We'll have to Google
Googlia.
that.
Googly eyes.
Right, said to guard the entrance to the underworld, Cerberus, a terrifying 3-headed dog, is undoubtedly one of the most iconic creatures in all of Greek mythology. Depictions of this terrifying beast have been found across the ancient world, and now it has been found again, this time in a fresco found on the wall of a newly unearthed tomb in Gugliano, Italy. The discovery was made when
Gugliano.
archaeologists spotted a curious wall that had been built using an ancient Roman construction technique known as opus insertum. Well,
I guess
well, hello there.
What the ancent Roman technique of
Barrymore's very familiar with that.
Try using that line at on a night out. I'm gonna opus insertum you. Yeah, that's it.
Is that Harry Potter's foreplay?
that's what
Was
went on at
Cerberus
Barrymore's
in-
party.
Was Cerberus in the original Clash of the Titans?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was. No. Was
Yeah,
it?
no. Cerberus guarded. I don't know. I might be getting mixed up with something else, but
No.
I thought Cerberus guarded.
No. Oh, it's
I
Hydra.
thought Cerberus guarded Medusa's thing. I haven't watched it for a while, but I thought
No.
Cerberus
Medusa,
guarded.
right?
I thought they had to fight Cerberus first.
No, there was the Hydra and ancient Jason and the Argonauts, right? But I don't.
That's an
remember
episode in itself. Clash
Yeah.
of the Titans, how amazing it was, and how shit the remake
remakes.
was.
How do you manage to make that story boring? Like I watched it at the cinema and I was like, because I love Clash of the
Well, and
Titans.
the,
So I thought, I'm
the
gonna go
sequel
watch
was
this.
even more heretical than the
Was it?
fucking remake.
Like, why the
man, you
fuck
never
did they have
seen
a
the
gin in it?
sequel?
What? No.
Oh my god, dude! You should watch the sequel just for like facepalm fucking.
It's like, why the fuck is there a gin in it? Why? Why
Yeah.
do we need a gin?
Right.
What is there not enough creatures in Greek myth or something? It's like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Din's like Middle Eastern, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
got a
So
bit-
the discovery was made when archaeologists spotted a curious wall that had been built using an ancient Roman construction. Blah blah. Okay. The latter turned out to be a front wall of a tomb, which was sealed by a heavy slab. Inside, in addition to the fresco of Cerberus, they found depictions of ichthyosaurs.
Ichthyocentaurs. What part fish, part
Yeah.
horse?
A centaurian type of sea god with the body of a human, the legs of a horse, and the tail of a fish. Never heard of that before. That's a new one.
Fucking hell, that was a difficult difficult
yeah.
fucking mermaid to make. That was, weren't it? I should imagine.
Fucking hell, like, yeah, the ancient Greeks and their, like, Chimera project got a hand there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, alright, John, who's fucking the horse? And then he got a fuck a fish.
Yeah.
His son's got a fuck a fish. That's it.
Fuckerada.
Yeah. The tomb was extremely well preserved and did not appear to have had been disturbed since antiquity. The tomb was frescoed ceiling and walls in perfect condition, with mythological scenes that go all around the room, and figurative representations, among which a three-headed dog stands out, said Mirano Nuzzo, superintendent of Naples archaeology, fine arts and landscape. The emotion aroused by the privilege of such a discovery is indescribable. That's it. So they found immaculate condition. Yeah, they found a picture on the wall that's in immaculate condition. It's weird how they keep finding all this stuff, isn't it? You know, why is it all buried? Why is it all buried?
Have you seen
Oh,
that?
don't say there was cataclysm what buried it all.
New study confirms age of oldest footprints
Look,
in North
Pompeii
America.
was an isolated incident.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's
Also, why are
always
there
buried.
mosaics depicting things like lemons in Pompeii?
Yeah, exactly. Well, pineapples, wasn't it? Was it pineapple?
Pineapples,
Have you seen this one?
lemons,
Mysterious web-like
fruit.
strands are falling all out from the sky all over California.
Well, that's just Californian things, right?
There's
Yeah.
like chemtrails.
These threads are in fact
Nothing to
spider
see here.
webs created by infant arachnids that are ballooning. An intriguing practice that involves creating little parachutes out of a web they carried on the wind.
What? So they're literally like flying spiders now,
Yeah,
ballooning in. Yeah, fucking
parachuting
Oh,
spider.
there is a type of spider which casts
paragliding spiders. Eh?
you scoff, but there is a type of spider which casts a web, which is a loop, and it uses that to glide, catches the air breeze.
Oh, have you ever heard of Oxford-based philosopher Toby Ord, Hobbit?
Toby Hall?
Toby Ord, O-R-D.
No, I don't know him.
He's published a book called The Precipice. At the risk of human extinction, he puts the chance of existential catastrophe for our species during the next century at 1 in 6.
All right, cool. I'm really, and that gives me. Hey, well, 5 out of 6 we don't fuck up. I like those odds. If you're playing Russian roulette,
he's picked some good odds for himself there, hasn't he?
Yeah. 1 in 6.
Who's your favourite?
People bet on that if it's the horses, a 1 in 6.
Yeah, 6-1.
Who's your favourite Clash of the Titans character?
Bubo.
The Dragon's Thief.
Bubo, the owl. Oh no, Calibos.
Mine is
it's Calibos.
Calibos, yeah. Because Zeus puts him down on the chessboard and he goes after Perseus.
To be fair, I like Perseus's like second in command's quite funny because he's like he
comic relief.
He moans about the flies, doesn't he? Blood gutted marsh flies.
That was such a good film, man.
Man with emotional support alligator is denied access to stadium.
Okay.
He ain't even got a muzzle on it. Fucking mad bastard. Pregnant women could help solve the mysteries of pareidolia or swamp gas or Fata Morgana.
Venus.
Yeah.
How's that?
Many scientific studies exclude pregnant women out of concern the dramatic changes their hormone levels may affect results. But researchers from the University of Queensland in Australia realised these hormonal changes could give us insights. They found women who'd recently given birth were more likely to see face-like patterns than those who were pregnant. The researchers have suggested this might be because of changing levels of the hormone oxytocin. However, the full picture may be more complicated.
Well, yeah, that would be natural, right? So you can see your child's face, right, and learn it, right? So I guess that you'd know it was your kid then, right?
That's too wordy. That whole thing is. Yeah. But yeah, pregnant women.
Would you prefer Doctor? I've got a cricket ball stuck up my arse. How's that? Don't even start.
How's that?
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty good to go through all these supernatural things, isn't it? One day we'll know the truth.
Yeah. One day.
Supernatural cryptozoology, all good. Whether it exists or whether it doesn't, it's always good to address it.
Yeah.
The unknown. Eh?
The unknown.
It keeps us curious.
The good old NASA.
Exactly.
Did we do the Gary McKinnon? Did we do that last week before?
You did the 200th episode last week because I couldn't make it, could I? Because I was busy.
Did we do Gary McKinnon the week before?
I'm not sure.
The
last one I did.
I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did Gary McKinnon.
I think the last one I did was probably a Loch Ness one, wasn't it?
Probably, yeah, because it would be very unusual for you to do a Loch Ness one.
Yeah. Well, it is important to cover the subject. It is, and we have been voted #1 Loch Ness podcast. Did you know that?
Have you?
Yeah.
Voted. I didn't vote.
Yeah.
People.
Not my best Loch Ness podcast.
Is that because you're the only one still covering the Loch Ness?
People in my head have voted.
Okay. Yeah, you're the only one still like going on about Loch Ness.
Not my Loch Ness president.
Yeah.
But I think in the coming weeks we should cover British Bigfoot, shouldn't we? Which is what we've been meaning to do for a while.
Yeah.
We have touched on it in the past, but I think we need to go into it in more depth. So I can discuss that with you.
Is there a difference in like Bigfoot sightings in the UK? Do they wear a monocle and a top hat, or is that?
They're the same type of creatures you get seen in the US, but there's not as much room, is there? So you think?
Yeah. They live in a council house.
It's
Are they from Liverpool?
They're from Scotland. There's some in Scotland, aren't there?
Oh, is it?
Popular place. Yeah.
I think once Trump's finished draining the swamp, he should drain the Loch Ness next.
Orange man bad. I do cover it. There's on the other channel I do, CFZ TV. I have been covering Loch Ness as well on there.
Nice.
Coming up though, I'm doing 2 programs for them. One is I'm going into more depth of the Hook Island sea monster. I'm having another look at that. I'm going to review that and come at it from a different angle. Plus, I'm going to do the private life of Sherlock Holmes as well. So I've got those 2 programs coming up there.
He's not real in.
I think. Well, there's a lot of
Encrypted.
He's a
Yeah.
he's a Bigfoot maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to be covering those 2 topics coming up there. But as I said, though, we can do British Bigfoot coming up. That's a program we can do. Plus, Christmas is approaching, isn't it? So we can do Christmas ghost stories, a bit like what we did tonight, but with a Christmas theme. Do that as well, can't we? So,
Yeah.
We could have a Christmas party and then dress up in Bigfoot suits and film it.
Yeah, we have in the
Yeah.
office
Well-
Christmas party.
We could do, couldn't we? We're gonna
Yeah.
have. We'll see. Actually, we could. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll
what we
go.
can
We'll go and
do.
see
We
if
meant
that
to-
bird's down the Boughton Triangle. That ghost. Christmas
Well, we
Eve.
need more
you have to go
notice.
down there
Oh.
Christmas
I think-
Eve, and
Oh dear.
and if you kiss her, you die. So don't kiss her.
If you get a
If you
blowjob,
kiss her in real life, you die in,
Yeah.
in
yeah, you don't have to kiss her. Just get oral,
What?
isn't it?
What if you go?
Well, I ain't kissing you, love.
From
What if you go down on her? Is it worse?
You don't have to-
If you
you don't
finish
have-
on her
you don't have to
face,
look at the mantle.
would you be right just
Yeah,
finishing on her face? Would you?
get it in here and all that.
Yeah.
You don't have to look at the mantelpiece when you're poking the fire.
Well, apparently she's quite pretty,
you know.
but just don't kiss her.
That just reminds me. What film was it? Scary Movie 2? Was it where she's shagging the ghost? That just reminds me of that.
Scary Movie 2.
Oh,
It's my good
Yeah.
hand.
Is it good?
Is that the
I
one
did
where she's
record-
shagging the ghost on the ceiling? Is that the first one? Or the
I
second one?
don't remember that one. All I remember is the bloke with the funny hand.
Yeah. Oh, classic.
That was on. It
films,
was on.
those.
It was on last night. I recorded it. I didn't see it, so I recorded
you?
that. Though, so
Hey, that
Is it
Paranormal
good?
Daily News is quite an interesting site. How about this one then? All Saints Church in Odell, Bedfordshire, when the devil shook the building in such a rage, he left his fingerprints on the church porch, but these were recently removed during church renovations. Oh, well, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Stupid bastard.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
There's a petrified cloven hoof of Satan at Salisbury on the Buckingham Bedfordshire border.
That's
I'm
messed
gonna see
up.
him.
Mm.
I was thinking though, last year's Christmas office party? I think we had about an hour's notice, didn't we? So we didn't make it.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
key to it
Yeah.
is,
So we should organise it better this time.
yeah, organise it in advance. So we'll do that. We could come to your pub, Tom. Couldn't we?
Yeah.
We could do
Yeah,
that.
I could try.
Yeah.
Well, try and get you
Yeah.
a reduced rate in the rooms.
Oh yeah, they got.
Oh, is it
we could
haunted?
Take our tent.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Annoyingly, there's a lot of there has been a talk about crime and punishment in the village,
Yeah.
which I was unable to go to because I was working. But I don't think there's any haunting stuff. Maybe I'll have to look into it more.
Oh, so they
Yeah,
haven't got the
if
guy
not-
for the mass shooting then? Ash says in
What?
chat, an
Shoot.
intensive manhunt is still underway for a suspect in Wednesday's shooting rampage at a bowling alley and restaurant that left at least 18 dead and 13 injured in Lewiston, Maine. So they haven't caught him
Sloppy
yet.
job, Mossad.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Real sloppy job.
He cool guy. Yeah.
Sloppy job, Mossad.
Yeah, it's all flopping. So it's pretty good though. Yeah.
Oh, you seen this one about the sea monster found on Google Earth
No, let's have a look. If it's real.
in Antarctica?
We do like a sea monster, don't we? On
Oh,
this
wow.
channel?
What is
Antarctica, nothing to see there.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
It's just penguins and nothing else. And don't you forget it.
Just a dead whale, bro.
That's crazy.
That's massive
Could it be a?
and weird.
Could it be a?
Mongolia, perhaps.
I was thinking, could it be a massive octopus
Tree trunk.
that's somehow been blurred.
It looks like massive octopus, which has only got one arm, so maybe you got the others cut off with
an octopus with thalidomide.
Yeah, one
Oh
arm.
no! Then again, hold on. If you look at it another way, it looks like some sort of like spazzy whale.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Because that thing that looks like a one arm, I think that's the mouth, isn't it?
Hey, do you know what they call a one-eyed dinosaur?
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Do you think you saw us?
Yeah. My dog has no nose. How does he smell?
Oh, then I'll just put this up for the audience.
Terrible.
That's crazy.
That is fucking weird, isn't it?
See what they think. We need your opinion, people at home. Look at that. Bonkers. When was that discovered then? Is that a recent article?
How do you know if you've had an elephant in your fridge?
Because there's a prints on the butter.
Has anyone watched enough SpongeBob to know what? Has anyone watched enough SpongeBob to know what the Alaskan bullworm is? Because people are saying it looks like an Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob.
It has got a cartoony quality, hasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of looks like CGI, to be honest, but
Yeah.
but
even Fraser's getting skeptical. This is the state of cryptid research in 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so
obvious.
Yeah, that's like.
I think it's pareidolia.
Sloppy job, Nasta.
Pareidolia. If only one of us was pregnant, we'd know what was going on with that picture, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's a rock formation.
They say, none of us are pregnant because we all think it's the same thing.
Do you know, I might be pregnant. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll have to leave that on that pregnant.
Why can't have a baby, Stan?
Oh.
Well, here's the thing, like, these guys are in the boat next to it, like, he's saying someone isn't, like, hanging over the side going, what the fuck is that,
Well, they haven't given out the...
worm. It's just a giant worm.
It was taken by drone, maybe.
There's a video on... Have you seen the video on the page?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, the video.
Oh, you're looking at the video, are you? Oh, okay then.
Yeah, and they pan around and you can see it's got, like, arms and shit, yeah.
It looks like clay. A clay deposit.
Have we got a video?
Oh shit, it's those blokes in the boat. Surely they'd have seen
that's what I'm saying.
They?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is it... Because it's got to be making, like, ripples in the water or waves or whatever, like, underneath it, right? Surely there'd be some disturbance there.
Ooh, that's fucking creepy. That is creepy looking, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Are you watching the video?
But then again, it kind of looks, CGI, doesn't it?
I've not put it up. I'm just looking at it.
It's like a giant aborted fetus.
Yeah.
Ew, that's not very nice.
It looks
I'm
like
trying to think eyeline wise. I don't think it'd be anyone in anyone's eyeline if it's staying under the water, would it? Because they'd kind of see the reflection on top of the water.
No, probably not. But
I think the only way to make sure would be look at the exact page and then see if it's someone messing around.
Yeah.
No, the Alaskan bullworm is just a giant worm.
And it's on the tip of the peninsula there, which you're allowed to go to. So
on the tip of my tongue.
Right, so
this is probably on one of those Arctic tours, right? Yeah. In quotation marks.
Is it the Arctic or the Antarctic?
Antarctic. It's in the Antarctic.
Oh, the one you can't go to. Now you know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where the thing landed.
That's why you're not.
No, they're on the Arctic. That's in the Arctic, mate. That was the Arctic. That was.
Well, the thing.
Yeah, they're in the Arctic. They weren't in the Antarctic, were they?
No, they were in the Antarctic. They were in the Antarctic research base.
Oh,
well, here's the thing. It doesn't have eyes.
Filmed in Canada.
Right.
And it's the best film ever.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
We don't know.
Kurt Russell didn't kill it. It was the black guy.
No,
or was it?
Kurt Russell was a thing.
No, not Kurt Russell. It was the black guy.
No, Kurt Russell put the
It wouldn't.
the
No,
wood
it
into
would be.
the chest machine,
If it,
and then he kept handing people the whiskey, and so he was
Yeah.
spreading the thing disease to them.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the black guy's breath doesn't steam, does it? It was quite deliberate.
Yeah,
I
No,
think
no,
they
I heard
understood at the end it was
theories.
both of them.
Oh no,
We'll never
I
know,
thought McCready handed him a bottle that had petrol in it to test him.
No, he handed him a bottle because he was the thing, and then he gave this weird smile when he drank it.
I need to watch it again.
So yeah.
I've got the 2 disc of the thing, but the other one's, I don't know, it's got some other film on it called The Thing that I'm not watching.
the prequel.
No, don't know what you're talking about, Ian.
prequel.
I don't know what you guys are talking
What?
about. They
What
just
did you
give
just say?
You've got the film, and then you've got the film, and then you've got a coaster with that says The Thing on it.
I can't believe it's not the thing.
Yeah, I can't believe this is called The Thing. I think that's what it should be called. It should have been called Things.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
there was more than one.
Yeah.
They're too old to make a sequel, though, aren't they? They made a prequel, but they didn't make a sequel. We'll never know who the thing was. They did the 2.
I think
Well, there was-
but
there
that's
was-
what he
there
likes
was
to do.
an
doesn't he?
official-
Bingo. John Carpenter's given it a seal of approval.
What, the
There was
prequel?
comics, the Dark Horse comics of sequels.
Oh yeah, they did The Thing, didn't they? The comic.
Yeah.
Oh, they were sequels, were they?
Yeah.
In the video game.
Oh yeah, I think I got the video game on the PS2, weren't it?
Yeah. But,
Right, I think we're
those
grinding
days are
gears
over.
now. We're all
Right.
done, aren't we, lads?
Yeah. I'll,
Stay spooky. Don't let the Alaskan bullworms bite.
They got treat
Yeah.
mother.